Imagine this. You get a credit card just in case, like a backup. And then a year goes by, and it turns out it's not a backup at all, but a subscription to stress. A credit card is the only product where a minimum payment sounds like care, but often works like a lifetime lease on your debt. Today, using US data, we'll break down why credit cards can keep you hostage, how interest actually works, and why debt grows even when you pay. Why it's genuinely hard for people to pay off the balance. When a credit card is bad, and when, on the contrary, it can actually help. Let's start with the numbers, without emotions. Fact number 1, interest rates are historically high. According to the CFPB, the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, in 2024, the average APR reached 25.2% for regular general-purpose cards, 31.3% for private label store cards. These are the highest levels at least since 2015. Now, here's what people often don't feel. Interest is calculated daily, and if you carry a balance, revolve, you're literally buying time at roughly 20 to 30% per year. Fact number 2, the rate on real balances is also massive. Federal Reserve data, via FRED, shows that the credit card rate on accounts where interest is actually charged was 22.30% in November 2025. Meaning, if you don't pay the balance in full, you're playing a game where the bank starts with plus 22% added to your debt. Now let's talk about the hostage mechanism. The CFPB reports that in 2024, the share of people who paid only the minimum payment rose to its highest level at least since 2015. About 15% of general-purpose cardholders paid only the minimum, and 20% for private label cards. Why does this matter? Because minimum payments are often designed to cover interest and reduce the principal extremely slowly. The CFPB gives a direct example, and it perfectly illustrates the hostage effect. If you have $2,000, an interest rate of 29%, and you pay the minimum calculated as interest plus 1% of the balance, or $35, you can end up paying more than $3,000 in interest over almost 10 years. So you borrow $2,000 and overpay more than $3,000 in interest. There's one more powerful indicator from the CFPB, persistent debt. That's when interest and fees over the year make up more than half of all your payments. In 2024, the share of such accounts rose to 13% general purpose, up from 9.9% in 2022. In plain language, you keep paying and paying, but most of your payment isn't getting you out. It's the fee for being allowed to stay in debt. It's not just you. Let's look at the scale. How much total credit card debt is there? According to the New York Fed's Q3 2025 report, credit card debt in the US totals $1.23 trillion. Why does this matter? When the number is this large, it's no longer a few people went on a shopping spree. It's a systemic product that many people use as a substitute for income. What about delinquencies? According to the Fed, via FRED, the credit card delinquency rate at commercial banks was 2.98% in Q3 2025. And the charge-off rate, when banks write debts off as losses, was 4.17% in Q3 2025. This isn't an apocalypse, but it's also not everything is fine. It means some people objectively can't handle this product at current interest rates and prices. Why is it so sticky? The gap between purchase and pain. Purchase today, pain later. And the brain loves later. A credit limit looks like money, but a limit isn't what you have. It's what you're allowed to borrow at 20 to 30%. The minimum payment creates an illusion of control. I'm paying, right? Yes, but sometimes you're paying mostly interest, not freedom. And the CFPB literally measures this through persistent debt. A credit card becomes toxic if you carry a balance for months and don't see how fast the overpayment grows at 20% plus. Pay only the minimum, which, according to the CFPB, a noticeable share of people do. Use a credit card every month just to make it to payday. That's already a structural budget deficit. The card only hides it. To be fair, a credit card isn't evil, it's a tool. Sometimes, A very useful one. 3 situations where it can help. Cash flow and protection. You pay with the card, get fraud protection, disputes are easier, and you pay it off in full before interest is charged. A short bridge with a 0% promo. If you have 0% APR on purchases or balance transfers, and you truly pay it off on time, this can be cheaper than high interest. The CFPB notes that 0% promo periods often last months, typically 6 to 21 months, and are used for balance transfers. But it's crucial not to relax and stretch the debt. Building credit history. Again, if you have discipline, small spending, full payoff. Let's sum it up like adults. Credit card rates in the US are genuinely high. The CFPB reports a 25.2% average APR on general-purpose cards in 2024, and the Fed shows 22.30% on accounts where interest is charged November 2025. Minimum payments often turn debt into a marathon. The CFPB shows a rise in minimum-only payers and examples where interest can exceed $3,000 on a $2,000 balance. The scale is massive. $1.23 trillion in credit card debt. A practical rule for your fridge: a credit card should be a payment tool, not a source of life.